coming back to that breath. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling slowly. Continuing to fill those lungs with air. Knowing the fast, hard work is done. As we come into some of our seated stretches or seated poses. Sending the breath to where you need it. And then inhaling, coming back up. Bringing those soles of the feet to the mat and heel toeing those feet out. About mat width distance apart. Bringing the knees to touch together. Reversing our cobbler's pose here. Just a couple breaths. Then heel toeing those legs back together. This time we're going to take those legs out wide into our wide leg stretch. And we're going to start by turning out to look at the right leg. Feet flexed. Taking a deep breath in, and then exhale, walk those hands out along that right leg. Breathing here. Bringing awareness back to that breath. And seeing again if you can hold on to that awareness from the very beginning of that breath in, all the way to the end. And coming back to that true self that was mentioned at the beginning of class. Looking within. Our yoga helps us do that. Looking within for who we truly are. Knowing that we're so busy with work, with homeschooling, with everything that we have, even if it's just all of our emotions right now. Taking another breath here. And then slowly walking it back up. And this time looking out over that left leg. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, begin to walk out over that left leg. And as we try to reconnect with our true self, maybe thinking, what brings us joy? What brought us joy as a kid? Before we started pulling on all those different masks, all those different hats. What did we find joy in? And then checking in to see if we still find joy in those things. Do we even still allow ourselves to do those things? To play. Taking just a couple more breaths right here. And then walking it back up. This time, holding forward, knowing you can always bring hands behind and push yourself forward, or walk it out. Placing no judgment on how far you go. Knowing we are all built differently. And no matter how flexible or tight we may be, sometimes our bodies are just going to tell us no, to stop. And yoga is a great place to learn to listen to what our bodies say. Don't go past that edge. Find the joy in the pose. Taking just a couple more breaths. And then bringing that head back up. Bringing those legs together, maybe shaking it out from all that. Crossing right ankle over left, bending the right knee a bit, depending on how much you may want or need. We're going to do a little sciatic stretch here for the back of this left leg. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. As we're working into our IT band on this back left leg right now. Seeing if you can soften those shoulders, bringing them down. Just coming back to that breath for awareness. Knowing we're doing so much good in this simple pose right here. You may feel this in the back left leg all the way up through your glutes. Knowing that we are completely connected in this body. From the tips of our toes all the way to our crown. And checking in to see if any location may need the breath more than another. And if so, sending the breath there. Just a couple more breaths right here. And then coming back up, uncrossing those ankles, shaking it out. And we're going to balance that out, crossing the left ankle over the right, maybe bending that left knee a bit. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, begin to fold, keeping that right foot flexed. Breathing in. This IT band and maybe the glutes. Another great stretch if you're running. Dropping those shoulders down. Sitting here. Anytime we start to work into that IT band and into those areas of our glutes where we release the sciatic nerve, we're going to feel it. But it's so good to give ourselves this relief. And not just if we're running, but if we're sitting for long periods of time. Pose like this does a lot of good. Taking just a couple more breaths. And then coming back up to center, uncrossing those legs, shake it out. Planting those feet, hugging onto those back thighs, slowly starting to come down. Keeping those legs bent, walking those heels a little bit closer to the glutes. And seeing if we can plant our hands, seeing if we can get them close to those heels. Coming into our bridge pose here, taking a deep breath in. And then exhaling, beginning to lift those hips off of the mat. Just doing a couple breaths right here, keeping those heels planted, keeping those palms planted into the mat. Feeling those fingertips grip in. And then exhale, bringing it back down. Maybe bringing knees to chest, adding a little wrap. We're going to come back into that bridge and add on just a little bit of core work. So bringing those feet down, grounded. Heels close to the glutes, palms down, grounding into the mat. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, bring those hips up. This time, bringing that right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, dip those hips down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time, inhale up. Exhale down. Lower the right leg. Lower the hips. Knees to chest. Plug it in. And then we'll balance it out on the left. Grounding those feet. Heels close to the glutes. Palms grounding into the mat. Bringing those hips up. Inhale that left leg up. Exhale, dip the hips down. Inhale up. Exhale, dip down. Inhale up. Exhale, dip down. Inhale up. Lower the left foot. Lower the hips. Knees to chest. Give yourself a hug and rock on that back. From here, landing those feet, knees bent. Inhale that right leg up, bringing that right ankle to just above the left knee. Seeing if you can weave your hands through, holding on to that back thigh, bringing that left leg up. Knowing you can always plant that left foot on blankets, pillows, or blocks for support. And if you'd like to or need to add on a little bit more, you can always weave those hands through and hold on to the top of that shin. Breathing here in our reclined pigeon. Loosening up into these glutes just a little bit. Maybe a lot. Bring that awareness back to the breath. Knowing if the mind has wandered, as it always will. Just coming back to these sensations in this body. Knowing that when we are in a hip opener, like a pigeon or a reclined pigeon, sometimes it starts to release emotions, because we tend to carry a lot of emotions in our hips. Just being observant, if anything does start to come up. Maybe it comes up in the form of a memory. Acknowledge the memory and let it pass. Knowing you don't have to get carried away with it. Taking another breath right here. Then releasing that hold. This time crossing those legs even more. So right thigh is touching left thigh. Bringing arms out to a T, bumping hips 1 inch out to the right, and then allowing those knees to fall out to the left. Head can stay centered or turn out to the right. Coming here into this cross-leg twist. Getting a little more work into that spine. Breathing here. Is there anything you can soften? anything you can. Maybe it's one of those hats you wear. Maybe you can slowly start to come back to your true self. Just a couple more breaths right here. And then inhaling those legs back up to center, uncrossing. Maybe taking knees side to side, adding a couple wiper blades to work that out. When ready, coming back to center, feet grounding, taking that left foot to the ceiling, and then taking that left ankle to just above the right knee. Weaving hands through, holding on and bringing up that that right thigh. Again, knowing you can always plant that right foot on a block or a blanket. Means you can always take those arms through farther, holding on to the top of that right shin. Bending the breath to where you feel it, possibly into that left glute, the left hip. Breathing here. Giving yourself this time, this quiet, this peace. Slowing it down. Just being observant. Knowing that the side may feel different than the right. This pose may feel different than it did in previous days or weeks. Not passing any judgment on any of it. Just acknowledging. Taking just a couple more breaths right here. And then releasing that hold, allowing that right foot to come down. Crossing left thigh to right thigh even more as if you're sitting in a chair. Arms coming out to a T. Bumping hips 1 inch out to the left and then allowing those knees to come out to the right. Head stay centered or turn out to the left. Getting a final twist in before relaxation or Shavasana. Balancing out. Stretch for our spine. Knowing that we sometimes feel this all the way down our leg. Only going to your edge, never beyond. No matter what, checking in to see what you need. Giving yourself just a couple more breaths right here. And then slowly starting to bring those legs up, uncrossing those legs again. Taking those knees side to side, adding wiper blades, maybe hugging knees to chest, and giving yourself a rock on the back. And then when ready, extending legs long and wide on that mat. Arms coming out to the sides, a few inches away from the body, palms facing up to the ceiling. Closing eyes, beginning to release and settle in. Beginning to ground into this mat and release from toes to crown. We release through these toes and spaces between them. Through the ankles, shins, and calves. We release through all parts of these knees. We release through the hamstrings, quadriceps, and all parts of these thighs. We release through the hips, glutes, and pelvic area, allowing this lower body to sink deeper into the mat. We release through the abdomen and back, the low back, mid back, and upper back are all cradled here in this mat. We release through the chest, lungs, and heart. Relaxing these hands. We release through the fingers and webbing between them. Through the palms and tops of these hands. We release through wrists and forearms. Relaxing all parts of these elbows. We release through the upper arms and shoulders. Relaxing this neck and head. We release all facial muscles. Tongue falls to the bottom of the mouth, lips part slightly, and cheeks hollow. We release through the forehead and scalp. This whole body is cradled and grounded into this mat. As we release from roots to crown, we surrender. Slowly beginning to awaken this body, keeping the eyes closed, we begin to wiggle fingertips and toes. Gently allowing wrists and ankles to rock. Gently allowing the head to rock from side to side. Then bringing feet together, knees to chest, hugging the knees in, giving yourself a rock on that back. Rocking over to a fetal position on the right side. And checking in one more time this hour with that mind, body, and heart. Checking in with that intention you set at the beginning of practice. And checking in with your true self. And keeping eyes closed, pushing into the floor, making your way to a comfortable seated position. Hands coming to prayer pose at heart center. Finding one more thing you can release this hour. And keeping that in mind, taking a deep breath in, sigh it away. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to guide you through your yoga practice. The light shining from me reflects the light shining from each and every one of you. Namaste.